we have not one but two free and open source video generators that just came out. Genmo's Machi 1 and Rhyme's Allegro. And these look really good, much better than what we've had before. So in this video, I'm going to do a full review of these two generators. I'm going to test them with a series of very tricky prompts and see how they compare with the leading proprietary models out there, Kling and Minimax, so you can get a sense of how good these models are. Let's jump right in. So first up, let's talk about Genmo's Machi 1. This is currently the best quality open source video generator out there right now. I mean, just look at the details and realism with the videos in their demo reel. This is pretty insane. But don't just take my word for it, I'm actually going to test this out and show you some generations so you can decide for yourself. Anyways, here are just some quick specs. For now, it can generate videos at a resolution of 480p with plans for higher resolutions in the future. And unlike other video generators, they use a new architecture called asymmetric diffusion transformers to generate the video. Now, to use this, they have a website for you to try it out for free. So I'll link to this page in the description below. All you have to do is sign up for a free account and then type in a prompt here and then click generate. You can also download this and run it locally on your computer. So they've released the full model weights on their GitHub, and best of all, this is under the Apache 2 license, which has very few restrictions, so you're free to use and modify this and even use it for commercial purposes. More on this GitHub page and local installation in a second. By the way, just in, this leaderboard from Artificial Analysis, which is an independent evaluator, has just been released. So this is basically an arena where users can blind test different AI video models. So there's two videos side by side, generated from the same prompt, and the user has to select which one they prefer. And after a lot of different selections from different users, here are the rankings. So surprisingly, Genmo's Machi 1 actually beats some of the leading proprietary models such as Runway Gen 3 and Kling 1.0. In fact, the only thing that beats Machi 1 as of now is Minimax. Now note that Kling 1.5 isn't on here yet. I think once they do add it, it's going to be in the top 3 spots. But just having an open source model that even beats Runway Gen 3 is pretty amazing. The second free and open source generator that was also released recently is called Allegro by Rhymes AI. This can currently create 6-second videos at 15 frames per second at 720p resolution. Currently, it can only do text to video, but they are planning to add image to video as well as the option to generate longer videos. So really quickly, here are just some of their demo examples, but again, I'm also going to demo this myself with a series of really tricky prompts so you can see what it can and cannot do. Alright, so for Allegro, in order to use it online, you do need to join the waitlist. So you just have to fill out this form, and at least for me, it only took them like 2 days to reply back and give me access, but it could be different for you. Or, like Machi 1, they also have released the model weights and code on GitHub, so you can go ahead and install this and run it locally on your computer. This is also under the Apache 2 license, so you're free to use and modify it and even use it for commercial purposes. More on this local installation in a second. But right now, let's jump in and test these two models and also compare it with the leading closed source video generators out there, Kling and Minimax. Alright, so right now I am in Genmo's playground. This is testing Machi 1, and the first prompt I'm going to try out is an astronaut riding a unicorn in the desert. Let's click generate and see what that gives us. Alright, so here's our generation. Let me play this for you. So as you can see, it's okay. The astronaut does look very realistic. Both his helmet and his suit look super realistic. So does the desert in the background. We can't really see the unicorn, though it does look like a unicorn. I mean, there is a horn on the horse's head. The horse isn't like walking anywhere. It's not really moving. This is just like a slow zoom in motion, but that's partially my fault. I didn't specify for the horse to actually move or walk around in the prompt. So, I mean, overall, this is not a bad generation. Alright, and then I'm also going to use the same prompt for Allegro. So again, you need to apply to their waitlist, but once you're in on their Discord, there's going to be this Allegro generate channel. And down here, how you generate a video is you type in /generate, and then let's select this, and then you would enter in your prompt. So I'm going to do the same thing, an astronaut riding a unicorn in the desert, and then press enter. Alright, and here's what we got from Allegro. So you can see this is not great. This is not a unicorn. I don't know if, is that a horn or his other ear? Anyways, the horse also isn't walking at all. The astronaut also isn't moving. This is not a very fluid video at all. It seems like the astronaut and the horse are frozen, but they're kind of sliding through this desert. And for your comparison, here's the same prompt with proprietary models, Kling and Minimax. So it seems like in terms of realism, detail, and motion, The proprietary models are still a step ahead. You can see for both Minimax and Kling, everything is just a lot more detailed, a lot sharper, plus it's just a lot more fluid. Alright, the next prompt I'm going to try out is even trickier. So this is a group of Pomeranian puppies learning to become chefs. This is tricky because it's not just one puppy, but a group of puppies. So it's harder for AI video generators to generate multiple moving characters in a video. And then it's not just any puppy. I'm testing if it can generate Pomeranians. Plus they are learning to become chefs, which doesn't happen in reality. So we're testing if it can actually understand two very different ideas and merge them together. Let's click generate and see what that gives us. Alright, so here's what we got from Genmo. This is actually very impressive. I did specify a group of puppies. This is only 2 puppies, so I guess it's still a group. And the Pomeranian puppies look very real and detailed, and they are kind of learning to become chefs. One has a chef hat, one is kind of smelling this bowl of flour here. I mean, overall, this is pretty impressive. Everything looks fairly consistent. And then I'm going to type in the same prompt for Allegro, so /generate, and then I'm going to paste in the prompt here, and let's see what that gives us. All right, so here's what we got from Allegro. This is a group of Pomeranian puppies, kind of, but they're not learning to become chefs. They're just standing there and the camera is panning to the left. So it definitely did not understand or follow my prompt. However, we can see that it can generate more than one puppy with a decent amount of detail, whereas older open source video generators couldn't even pull this off. And then for your comparison, here are all 4 video generators side by side. So again, you can see with the proprietary models Kling and Minimax, they are just a bit better. The puppies look a lot sharper, a lot more detailed, and they move a lot more naturally. And these are definitely Pomeranian puppies learning to become chefs. Whereas for the open source model, I would say Genmo is definitely better than Allegro, and it's already impressive that it can generate these 2 puppies kind of learning to become chefs, but I mean, at least compared to the bottom 2 videos, it's not quite there yet. Alright, time for your favorite prompt. So next I'm going to prompt it with Will Smith eating spaghetti. Let's see if it can pull this off. And here's what we get from Genmo, and this is indeed Will Smith. Very, very impressive. Note that this is not image to video. I did not generate an image of Will Smith beforehand. Genmo's Machi seems to understand who is Will Smith and actually generate a decent video of him eating spaghetti. Now, he did kind of just throw the fork down halfway and not eat the spaghetti. I'm sure Will Smith is just completely sick of eating spaghetti by now. Alright, next I'm going to use the same prompt in Allegro and see if it can pull this off. And here's what I got from Allegro. You can see this seems to be just some generic black guy. I mean, who knows? Maybe somewhere in the world there is a Will Smith who looks like this. And he is kind of eating this spaghetti, but not really. I don't really know what he's doing with this bowl of spaghetti here. And then for your reference, here is also the generations from Kling and Minimax with the same prompt. Kling by itself cannot generate Will Smith. However, Kling does have an image to video feature, so you could upload a video of Will Smith eating spaghetti first to use as your first frame. And same thing with Allegro. Currently, it does not have image to video, but they are implementing this feature. But it's really impressive how Genmo's Machi and Minimax are able to know off the bat what Will Smith looks like. Alright, the next prompt I'm going to try out is time-lapse of the northern lights in the Arctic sky. This is also kind of a tricky prompt because I'm testing if it can generate a time-lapse video, which is very different from other types of video. Plus, in reality, how this should show up is the stars should move way slower than the northern lights in this time-lapse video. So let's see if Genmo can pull it off. Alright, here's what I got from Genmo, and this is perfect. This is indeed how northern lights move in a time-lapse, and you can see the stars move at a much slower rate. In fact, they don't really move that much. They just pan slightly to the left in the video, but yeah, I think this is a perfect generation. It's really impressive how far open source video has improved. Alright, next I'm also going to paste in the same prompt here. So generate, and then I'm going to paste in time-lapse of the northern lights in the Arctic sky and see what that gives us. Alright, here's what we got from Allegro, and this is also perfect. This is really good. Like, the northern lights do move at a much faster rate than the stars, and this does look like a time-lapse video. I mean, the stars do move slowly across the sky. Let me know in the comments what you think of the quality of this. And then for your comparison, here are the 4 video models side by side. And in this case, I mean, it's pretty hard to pick a winner here. I mean, all 4 of them could generate a time-lapse of the northern lights in the Arctic sky pretty well. Let me know in the comments which one you prefer. Alright, next prompt is going to be very tricky. I have not encountered any video generator that can actually pull this off correctly. So the prompt is, a princess wearing a beautiful glittery white dress running away from a massive dragon with glowing red eyes, Disney Pixar animation style. So again, a very tricky prompt with multiple elements. There has to be a princess, she has to be wearing a beautiful glittery white dress, plus she has to be running away from a massive dragon with glowing red eyes. And I'm also testing if it can generate this Disney Pixar style video. So let's click generate and see what that gives us. Alright, here's what we got from Genmo. It's kind of this 3D Disney Pixar animation style, but you can't really see the face of the princess. And I mean, she is far away and this is quite a low resolution video, so I guess that is expected. The dragon does look pretty good. I mean, it is a massive dragon with glowing red eyes. It is kind of following this Disney Pixar style. I would say in terms of understanding multiple elements in the prompt, Genmo's Mochi 1 does pretty well. However, the princess is not running away from the dragon. She's just standing there and the camera is just slowly panning. Alright, I'm going to paste in the same prompt in Allegro, and let's see what that gives us. Alright, here's what we got. This is actually the Disney Pixar animation style I was going for, so it generated the princess very well. And at least she is walking this time. There's a lot more motion compared to the previous videos we've generated with Allegro. However, this creature in the background does have glowing red eyes. It is massive, but it's definitely not a dragon. I don't know what the hell this is. And I mean, this princess is just casually walking. She's not really running away from the dragon, so we gotta take points off for that. However, it is good to see that this can pull off a Disney Pixar style. And then for your reference, here are all 4 video models side by side. And you can see none of them, including the best ones out there, Kling and Minimax, could actually get the princess to run away from this massive dragon. The princess is either running sideways or walking casually. And then it seems like Minimax is the best one at generating Disney Pixar style videos. So the princess looks exactly like she came from a Disney movie. And also you can see from Minimax, this one has the highest motion. In fact, Minimax, I would say, does the best in terms of high action scenes. Whereas for the other video generators, it's really slow moving. They can't really handle higher movements. Alright, next up, I'm going to test out its ability to generate text. So the prompt is the text, subscribe to my channel, made of vibrant, colorful smoke. So let's press generate for Mochi and see what that gives us. Okay, so here's what we got from Genmo, and this is actually pretty good. It didn't get the text correctly, but it's actually making the text out of vibrant, colorful smoke, which not a lot of other video generators I've tested could get correct. Now, of course, you can see the text is not correct. I don't think this is usable. But for visual effects, like making something out of colorful, vibrant smoke, it can definitely pull this off. And here's what we got from Allegro. You can see this is kind of what I've seen with previous video generators. It was really lazy in that it just generated some colorful smoke in the background and it just overlaid some text. The text isn't actually made of vibrant, colorful smoke. Plus, of course, it got the text completely wrong. This does not say subscribe to my channel. And then for your comparison, here's the same prompt with Minimax and Kling. For this one, Minimax does pretty well. It's more like a neon sign, but there is like colorful, vibrant smoke coming out of the words, so I'll give it points for that. And then surprisingly for Kling, which is one of the best generators out there, it could not actually generate the text correctly. Again, it just overlaid some random text on a background of colorful smoke.